Hey guys, how's it going today? It's now February the 19th, it's a Monday, and it's about 5 in the morning, and I want to do a morning Bitcoin update. I don't believe, guys, that we are on an impulse uptrend right now, because there's a lot of criterias that just simply do not fit the puzzle right now. And I have to admit that every single analyst, including myself, thought that we were going to get to about 10K before we started an uptrend, and now it leaves me to wonder what is going on. And I've had a little bit of time to just sit back and relax. I entered a short position about over here, and I had to manage it quite a bit actually. I entered it, believe it or not, everybody makes mistakes at around right here, the bottom of the wick, believe it or not. Yes, I did. I entered it at the bottom of the wick. So I added more to my position up here, tried to close it right around here, couldn't close it. Added more to my short up here, and then I finally closed it right around here because it increased my base price for my short. It was pretty stressful. I was playing over 10 Bitcoin, so it could have been pretty bad, I think. So let's go over what has been going on now, and I would like to rationalize all of this with you guys, and you guys can also give me your thoughts as well to let me know what you think. So what Elliott wave traders try to do is they try to approach it with a very systematic approach. And we try to make sense of the charts by seeing what waves, don't mind I'm just logged into my bitfinex here because I logged out, I haven't been on for a while. So we try to approach it with a very systematic approach to see what Elliott waves count will actually fit the criteria of what makes sense, right? It's a logical deduction process. And I found that it's been really helpful towards me for the past few years, rather. And a lot of people really dislike Elliott waves, put it that way. But okay, let's go over this. Let's indulge me for a second, and I'm going to approach it with this method here, okay? I'm going to approach it with this method right there. Now, let's say that we approach this with ABC, right? Would this make sense to you guys right here, ABC? That's the way that I've been counting it, and now I look back and I realize, whoa, I could have been counting it wrong, right? So another way to count this right here would be like that, A, B, and C. That's the way that a lot of people have been counting. I'd say half of the groups out there for Elliott wave traders are counting it this way, and the other way would have been my way as well. So my way that I counted it was like this, A, B, C, like this, and I counted this as WXY, which also makes entire sense because then we get a wave failure, and then we get some sort of A, B, C in here as well, which makes entire sense. And it's really up for debate, to be quite honest. It's up in the air how you would see it. But let's say that we ended up not calling it that way, and we ended up calling it this way right here, A, B, C, like that, okay? Now, what we're getting is an ABC structure in here as well. A, B, and a C. Make sense so far? Excuse me there. So this to me looks like it's a very valid count now, in hindsight, now that we've gone over a lot of different scenarios. So I'll just label it like this for you guys to see what I mean. Oops, wrong way. I'll change this one to a smaller degree, primary. Nope, I want that one to be cycle. And I want this one to be as big as possible, just so it's very visible. Don't mind the degrees that I'm using. I know a lot of traditional Elliott wave traders would probably frown on this, but I don't care. It's just the annotation. So this would be A, that would be A, B, C, and then we have basically A, B, C down here as well, right? This seems like a very valid count as well. So a lot of people have been drawing it this way, just put it that way, where they're going to call this waves 1, and this one is about the same length. It's actually a little bit longer, so that fits their criteria. Like that, okay? So a lot of people are calling it this way absolutely right now, and that seems to make sense to me. Now keep this in mind, okay? Keep this in mind where we go, where this one could be a possible point B, and then we get a C down here, okay? Now let's zoom in to where we are right now. So the way that I would count this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like this, okay? Check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like this, okay? And let's actually go to like a 30-minute chart just to make sense of more of this right now. Now, would this make sense to you guys? think about it, okay? Now, I don't know if it's right or not. This is not a prediction video. It's more so just to give my general thoughts about what is going on. And we're trying to argue if these are even rational or possible and valid points, okay? I want a number. Super Millennium sounds pretty good to me. There you go. So, what if this was point A right here, where this one here made a diagonal, which is very valid as well, right? Excuse me there. So what if that made a diagonal? We do have wave 3 that's actually longer than wave 1. And yes, overlapping is allowed in these types of diagonals, absolutely 100%. We have wave 3, not the shortest, that's all that matters. So this could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, going up like that. Now, is it possible? The B always has 5, okay? Or sorry, 3, okay? So is that possible now? Let's change this to a smaller degree now that we're doing a sub one. Let's go to primary. Just going to change this to primary here. So A, B, and C like this, okay? Does this make sense as well? Where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overlap is absolutely allowed in these types of diagonals. I want to be extremely clear on that. And now the characteristic of wave B to C right here is actually always 5 waves going up. So this would be called a 5, 3, and a 5, okay? So I'm going to show you guys what I mean in just a few moments here. So we're going to finish up this count right here from A, B, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is this a valid count? We have to ask ourselves this. Is there any other way to draw this right now based on what we see? And to me, the answer is actually no. There's no other way for me to see this right now other than just like this. As much as I would love to see it differently, as an Elliott wave technician, like Sam would say, Sam is Trading Devil, by the way. If you guys don't know him, you should check out his channel. He makes me feel like an idiot when it comes to Elliott waves, and he knows his stuff, put it that way. I follow everything he's doing, but he's always teaching me new material every day, and I always look to learn more. So now let's wonder, is this possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, which now makes our A. And we're going to make this huge, just so you guys can see it here. And we'll make this something like purple, okay? So is this possible for it to be A? Is this possible for this to be B? Therefore, there's a C somewhere down there. Now think about it, okay? Think about this scenario that I'm showing you right here. A, B, and C. Is it any different than this scenario that we see up here, where we see an A, B, and C? And want to know something really cool? If you caught the top of B, all you simply do is take your Fibonacci extension, start from the top, from where point A is, second, and the third point would be B, and you simply target 1 to 1. Bam, right around that region right there. That is where a lot of people entered shorts, and that is a very possible count as well, right? So this is called a zigzag with a 1 to 1 extension. So if we're seeing here A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how is it really any different than this one right here, where we have A, B, and a possible C down over here, right? And I've got many arguments, and hear me out, guys, hear me out, right? You guys know my track record, first of all, and you guys know that I don't FUD. I only go based on what I know and what I see. And sometimes I'm absolutely going to be wrong. No doubt about it, guys. I've got absolutely no problem admitting that I'm wrong, simply because, well, not everyone's 100%. And, excuse me, I also understand that we focus on winning over time. It is a game of probability, right? There's no trader out there that's 100%, guys. But we got to make sure that we stay humble, and most importantly, we have to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable. So yeah, no problem. I've got no problem admitting that I was wrong in terms of thinking that this was going to extend down there. But now that we got this uptrend, it is really hard for me to believe. It's incredibly hard for me to believe that that we're done, guys. because this is a perfectly normal B count. I mean, a very bullish market will just retrace more. I mean, look at this one. It probably retraced to 618, golden pocket, 786 region, I'm guessing. Perfect. So this one retraced between the 786 region, right slightly underneath it. Now, let's take a look at this as well. I'm going to draw this in here, actually. Watch this, guys. Check this out, okay? I'm going to draw a huge trend line from the peak of there to coming down over here. It'll be more accurate when I get to a better time frame in here. So let me just gauge it a little bit better here. Let's go to a different time frame. Let's just make sure that we're getting what we want to see. So I'm connecting this point right there. I'm connecting this point right there, a point B. And now if I actually go into a very, very close view of it, what we see right now is basically where the rejection is, and we're hitting a very critical resistance area, right? Couldn't break past it then. We're also getting a doji candle right here, or shooting star rather. On a 4-hour, we got a wick poking through there, that's for sure. I'm just going to move this so we can see it. See this massive wick that's poking through it right now? On a 2-hour, doji. On a 1-hour, doji. On a 45-minute, this is a big one right there. On the 30-minute chart with volume, we're getting a massive shooting star on there, and followed by a spinning top over here, a spinning bearish top. So it's really hard for me to be convinced that we are on an uptrend, and I'm impartial right now. Like, I'm not in a position or anything, okay? I played a position here in a short. I actually shorted right here at the bottom, believe it or not, on this wick right there. And I assumed that it could still be very bullish, so I took a chance. I added more over here. I played a very big position, added more to my short. I was up to 7.5 bitcoins over there, and I got to close my position just breaking even. Because when you add more to your short, right, you increase your base price, and when you increase your base price there, you can get a chance to close it a little bit higher, but of course it's more risky and you're much more exposed in the market, and it's not a good feeling. So I was laddering my shorts all the way from over here, believe it or not. I don't know why I was really doing that. I don't think I was focusing too much. Laddered it, right? And I couldn't really close my position over here. So yeah, like when I said over here earlier, I was more so referring to the base price. So let's go back to this right now and take a look at it on a 30-minute chart, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And then from A to there, or sorry, from here to B, we get 5 as well. Let me just draw it a little bit better here for you guys. And let's just draw some lines to connect it. So let's make this one purple because it is ABC. A, B, all the way up there, and a possible C. I don't know if this is a valid count or not, to be completely honest. I've got absolutely no idea. And this is one of the times that I've been much more confused than other times. And yeah, like, I'm not biased or anything. I'm just trying to make sure that we connect all the possible pieces together. And then what we see is right there, 10,000, right? We see literally the 10,000 range. And now let me show you guys this right here as well. Let's say I drew a trend line. Thank you, Hyjin, for showing me this. I appreciate it. Let's say we drew a trend line like that, just to connect pretty much of these relevant points right there. A channel. Let's say I drew a channel on the bottom as well by cloning this. Okay. This one might be a little bit off. I don't like that, actually. There we go. That's a little bit better to me. Connecting more relevant points here. This is something like that, perhaps. And this one might be a little bit off as well. Maybe something like that. Just something like this. Let me just have a sip of my water. Give me a second, guys. Excuse me. Oh, I completely did it wrong. My mistake. I was wondering why the heck it was so off. That's why, because I'm not even looking at the big picture right here. So then I come out to over here, for example, and I'm going to draw this in here right now. And let's draw another channel support as well, right there. What do you guys see? You guys see this channel support right here? You see this channel support in there as well, right? And just based on A, B, and C, with pretty much a one-to-one extension, we'll say, what number do we hit? We hit 10K. So just using my logic and my deduction skills, I simply cannot believe, guys, that we are going to uptrend right now, okay? I cannot emphasize that enough right now, that we did not even come close to breaking this critical resistance line up there. And because we didn't come close to breaking that resistance line up there, I cannot help but think that if this structure right here fit all the criteria, guys, we're going to go over it one more time, okay? Actually, we're going to go over the daily chart over here first, where we have the structure A, B, and C, and within A to B, that's the important thing to note of, okay? Within A to B, we have an A, B, C, just like that. And then we get 5 waves coming down, right? Now, is that any different than from here? If that was A and that was B, we simply made an A, B, and a C, right? Now let's get rid of all of these counts right here. Actually, you know what? We'll keep them in here. Well, I'll draw some yellow lines in here as well. So this one was A, this one is B, and this up there is C. Interesting, right? And it fits all the criterias. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which makes a 5 wave for A. It makes an A, B, and C, which makes a 3 wave for B. And then it makes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it officially has made a 5, 3, and a 5, right? And this one, if you can make an A, from A to B, I'll say it again, from A to C, right? This is the ABC against the trend. And if this ABC is 5, 3, 5, then we got to look at the bigger ABC as well, from A, B, and C, just like that, right? Which is also going to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. And then this one makes a ABC inside, which is in 3, right? And where's the 5 wave one? Excuse me. Where's the 5 wave coming down like that? Well, if I were to actually clone it and I use the one-to-one extension, look at this, right? It pretty much is almost bang on, we can say. It's not going to be that severity, I don't think, right? But I'm just trying to argue some cases. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm wrong, to be honest. Okay, guys, so give me some slack. I don't like going on Twitter during days like this when I tweet my thoughts, and there's a lot of hostile people, right? Can't even imagine how many people I banned today. You know, the last thing people want to do is share their thoughts and then have really hostile people comment on you, right? I'm just not a fan of it, and I banned them right away. So give me some slack, guys. I'm just trying to share my thoughts, okay? If you guys want me to charge for my material, I'll gladly do it. So, or even stop for that matter, you know? So my goal is to help out the community, but the community has to reciprocate it back, right? That's why I'm not going on Twitter or anything tonight. I'm just hanging out with Val. We're just chatting, and I'm left her a little bit, or stopped chatting for a little bit to make this video here, because I need to argue my cases. I really need to argue my cases to see if this is a valid count. Now, I don't know at all, guys, if this is a valid count. Like, don't get me wrong at all, okay? I mean, the way I counted it before, this one was completely different, right? The way I counted it before, which is now making me wonder if it's right or wrong, is like this right here. I counted this as A, B, and I counted this as C, and I counted this as an impulse wave up that failed because it retraced by more than 100%. So, and I call this my X point right there. So if I'm being consistent with the way that I've counted it before, then I cannot count it this way. Then I would have to count this as A. I'm going to clear it all up now that you guys have this scenario of mine, okay? I'm going to clear it up just so you guys know where I stand. Now, Give me a second. Sorry for the wait. I don't want to clear up the whole chart, right? That's the thing. So let's say that this, whoops. Actually, yeah, that's fine to delete. Let's say now that this right here was B somewhere right there, okay? And let's say that this was C somewhere like that. We can also pretty much get a count as well. It's this structure that's really bothering me right now. So this one would be the same thing with the 5-wave countdown like that, right? And this would be some sort of 3-wave structure. I'm sure we can make it count, but I don't see like that, right? This is A, B, C like that as well. Okay, it's like a 3-wave. C is just it's really ugly. And then we also get 5 waves in here as well. One, is that 5 waves? I mean, I see it more as a higher time frame. It's a very different type of structure, right? I don't want to count all of the fractals on very small time frames, but I'm trying to on the 15-minute chart. I mean, if this was a valid count, A, B, C, and I counted it like my last one, then absolutely, this would be considered an uptrend, right? Because then this would be the start of the impulse wave, up like that. And then we correct you know, whatever Fibonacci amount here for a fairly decent level, maybe around right here, for example. It's way too low, probably around the wave 4 territory, right? And then we go from there. Now, another really valid argument that I need to make is this, okay? Elliott Wave states this, and you guys can go check it up as well if you would like. Elliott Wave states that if wave 2 retraces, they usually alternate, right? If wave 2, for example, retraces only to a 382 level right here, okay? 382 level right there. Then by alternation, by the rules of alternation, the wave 4 has to actually retrace a lot more. And what we say to ourselves is, okay, if that one retraced 382, let's assume by the rules of alternation of Elliott wave retracement, can it be possible that this, look at this, guys, like this is what's blowing me away right now, okay? This is what's confusing me to the max. We did not even come close to retracing to a 236 level. Look. Just look, guys, we didn't even come close to retracing to a 236 level. Right here. In fact, we're in between only the 236 level right here and also between the 382. But we didn't even touch it as well. And trust me, guys, this wave is this count is done. I've been beating my head on it for days now. This is the count right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I've broken it down to a microscopic level to the point where I know for a fact with certainty that that is the absolute count right there, right? And I think that you guys would all agree with me that we have really beat down this chart to death over the past few weeks. So I don't want to go over that count again. And every other Elliott wave technician out there, I'm 100% sure that they would agree with me. That is why we had this massive downtrend. But we got to ask ourselves, is it really that bullish? Can it actually be this bullish to the point where it did not even retrace 382 and that it's only retracing to 236? If this is the case, guys, if this is the actual case where I'm completely wrong and this is and this second count is actually right, the second count as in I'm not going to draw all of this right here. I'm just going to take it all out, where this is A, B, C with a truncated C position, right? Then this could very well be an impulse wave up. But if that were the case, then you guys know that this would mean that we would have the biggest bull run in the history of mankind, because we did not even retrace to the wave 4 territory by 382. And what I'm referring to is this right here. This is wave 1. Okay, this is wave 2. That's wave 3. And what? That's wave 4? Really? It just doesn't make sense to me at all. So now I'm very puzzled, right? And you guys can see the conflict. Like then the wave 5 goes up like that, right? Is that actually possible where it is so freaking bullish that we didn't even retrace and we've disobeyed many Elliott wave rules? So I can't help but think to myself that no, unfortunately, I don't believe that this is going to be that bullish. So just by deduction, I can't help but think that this is not ABC right here. And this A right here coming down, there's 5 waves in there, guys. There's 5. So now I cannot help, but I understand, guys, that I'm someone in the community now. You can say I'm no big fish or anything like that, right? I'm not like Charlie Lee or anyone like that at all. I'm just a technical analyst sharing my thoughts online with you guys, right? So I understand though the social responsibility that I have, which is to not provide FUD, right? And I can't, there's only two ways to look at it from Elliott waves right now. There's the one that I counted earlier, where we get a C right here, right? Somewhere in this box right here. And we're now double topping here, basically on this slope trend line, ABC like this, right? And we get a C in there. And there's also this way where I originally counted my Elliott wave as well, where this one is actually an impulse wave up. So do you guys see my arguments and the problem right now that we're posing? Very interesting, isn't it? So I just want to leave you guys with these thoughts. Let me know which one you think it is, okay? If you guys are experienced with Elliott waves, or even if you're not and you know the basics, I've argued both points right now, and they're both very valid points, but it's this Fibonacci retracement right here that's almost giving it away that's making me lean bearish. And now I'm kind of, what's the word, fearful of committing to a bias, but I feel that I've got this social obligation, or sorry, this social responsibility to provide my thoughts, and I don't have a decisive answer right now. It's very difficult to pinpoint what this is doing. And, you know, everybody gets it wrong, guys. You got to understand that nobody's going to be perfect. And all that we can really do is just try our best to pinpoint which one it is. So once again, leave me your thoughts, guys, and let me know which one you think is valid, right? And once again, I just cannot see this being as 0.4. I have to logically see this right here. And regardless of if I'm wrong or not, it doesn't really matter too much to me because I have to go based on the rules that I see. I'm not in a position in any way, not long, not short. It doesn't really matter to me which way it goes. All that matters to me is finding out, oh, this is not B there, is finding out if this is the right count right here. If it is the right count, then we would at least try to get into this channel support, right? That would be really nice. Because right now, as it stands, what is this a support right here, right? Are we now in like a higher support zone or something? See? No. Right there. Is this now a new channel where we're staying into a higher region and we've broken so bullishly that this region down over here is no longer valid? So there's a lot of questions that are left to wonder right now. So once again, I hope that you guys take all this into consideration. This is not a prediction video of any way, okay? So I'm just more so stating my thoughts and trying to get a gauge of what the public thinks as well. I think it's very important to involve the public and see what they're thinking, because it doesn't really fit the rules of an uptrend right now, because I just cannot believe that we are in such a bullish market that we didn't even retrace the 382. I cannot help but wonder what is the truth, and we will find out very soon. We'll see what the market does. So other than that, guys, make sure you go to Steam it. Make sure you guys upvote this stuff. This stuff is all free. And all that I ask for is 1 minute of your time to do something for me as well. Not that I'm indebted to it, right? But I'm incredibly grateful for the support that you guys have given me, like how I'll make sure to give you guys the support as well. And please be sure to like and subscribe the material. Other than that, guys, have yourself a great night, and we'll see how this plays. Good luck with everything. Bye now.